Welcome everyone. Welcome back to another episode of DevChatter. Let me turn down my background music a little bit. Don't want it to overshadow me there. Welcome. My name is Brendan, and today we are going to be doing a little bit more coding. I let some of our regulars know what we're going to be doing today. If you want to be one of those people that knows what we're going to be coding today before the stream starts, I recommend you join our Discord, which is linked down below. You can find that in our details on the Twitch stream. And hello, Arid Tag, WTF Blub, welcome. I see people are showing up in chat. Today we're going to be doing a little bit more code on our DevChatter bot again, so we are staying a little bit consistent on this one. The interesting thing that we're going to be doing today, that we're going to be doing on this nice Tuesday afternoon, or evening, or morning, or whatever time it is wherever you are, is we are going to be making some more connections to our Twitch account. So the main project we work on in this channel is our Twitch chat bot. That would normally be in the stream. It's not actually in there right now, so sending commands won't do anything. So just as an example, I can say !GitHub, and it will not link to our GitHub as it normally would. I may actually get an old version of the bot running, just so that we have something to use while we're doing the stream. So I'm going to do that now. Developers. And welcome anyone who was still lurking around in the C# Fritz channel. We're going to be doing some ASP.NET Core and C# coding. So hopefully you are interested in that. I would guess so, because that's what Fritz does on his stream as well. Let me see if I can get the... That was not the right one. Oh, is it running... Ah, bummer. Okay, I can't run the can't run that code right now. All right. Well, we won't worry about it. We will not have a bot running this stream, so, or at least not our bot. Welcome, Sky Hoshi. Okay, so a couple of things I want to mention. Sky Hoshi, to answer the question, yes, and I will actually mention it on stream. Sky Hoshi asked me a question in our Discord. So here's what we're going to be doing today. We want to connect to TwitchLib a little bit better than we are. So our bot, up to this point, has been running as a console application. Why? Well, because everything in it is inside of a class library, so it's pretty easy to have it be a console application. So we didn't really need to do anything more. But now we want to. We are going to make this bot actually run in a web application, which is going to give us a little bit more power, because we're going to be able to have web pages hosted that could be visited so we can manage our data, and they also should be able to display content on our screen over here. So last stream, yesterday, we had a guest on, and it was Jay Tower, and he and I were working on moving our dependencies and setting up a new tool that we're going to be using called Hangfire. And I will show you all what Hangfire does, because it's pretty cool. So first off, Hangfire is a... it's kind of like a library that you bring into your project that gives you some tooling around having background jobs running. So we do some of that in our bot, and this is sort of a library to make some of what we do a little bit nicer. So we're bringing in Hangfire for that. It runs in .NET Core, which is what our project is. So just to show you how it works, this is our bot's website, and you can see that it gives us this Hangfire URL that has all kinds of information about jobs that can be running. And the way we set it up is not quite perfect yet, but we're going to do some things with it to make it a little bit more interesting. Right now we have the bot start in here, so what I can do is I can go to our bot admin page, and if I go and click start, it will connect the bot, and you'll notice the bot just said hello in chat. So the bot is sort of in here. Now the problem is the way that we connect it, it hasn't really connected to Twitch when we do this. So that means that commands don't work. So I can't type any of our commands into chat and have it respond. But what is running is the automated process that's going to periodically send a message into chat. That's the only piece that's currently working there, because we are able to get in here and start this loop. So the first thing we want to fix is we don't want this to be a loop anymore. We want this to be Hangfire that does this. But I'm less worried about that right now. So in terms of our Hangfire integration, this would be the first change, is make it so that our automated action that we run is on a periodic basis using Hangfire. The other thing that I want to do is delete this extra thing that we have in here for no reason that we discovered last stream. So we accidentally ended up with two of these. So essentially what we did was we had an automated messaging system and an automated action system, and we merged them into the same thing. And I think we did a find replace or something like that and ended up with two. Pretty funny thing. Probably also pretty common. Okay, so cleared that out. I'm going to commit that as its own little change here, which is this one. So let's go ahead and remove duplicate I automated action system from bot name. Okay, there we go. The next change that I'm making is this is the fix to fixed the repository and config dependencies. Okay, so at the end of last stream, we were running into a couple of issues with dependencies and getting a repository set up. To show you what I did to resolve that, I will show you a couple of things that I did in the startup method of our code for anyone who was here. The first one is this. I adjusted how we got our configuration. So previously we were doing get sections on our configuration to get our Twitch settings and our command handler settings. I instead did a full get on bot configuration. So during our setup method, we have access to everything that's inside of our app settings at runtime. So that includes all user secrets and everything else that we would need to do our setup. So that's inside a full config. And then I added those to our dependency resolution as well, so that if anyone does request either of these, they should be able to just get them directly without needing to use an I options for it. So we'll see whether that works. Okay, the next change that resulted from that is by using the full configuration, I was able to call our setup repository method, which gets us our repository, and we use that to set up everything else. So this gets us a singleton of that, and we created it, and the error we were running into with app data context is now gone. So that clears up those. Now all we're left with is we need to nice up this dependency injection a lot, because it got, I think, messier when we moved it to the standard DI framework that's in ASP.NET Core, which didn't seem possible, but apparently was. Okay. So, the next thing that we want to take a look at, and this is actually what we're going to be looking at today, is something that we need to do. Let me pull it up on screen. So, this is the Hangfire stuff. We don't want that one. We want TwitchLib. So, for anyone that's watched this stream a decent amount, you probably know that we use TwitchLib in order to make our connections to Twitch and the Twitch API. The TwitchLib project is an open source project that we've only minorly contributed to in the form of finding an issue and making recommendations on the fix. We haven't actually contributed back to it yet, but I am hoping we will at some point. because I do want to help support these guys because they make a good product. So here is the deal with TwitchLib. It has a number of different packages. One of the ones that we use the client, we use API, we intend to use PubSub, and a couple of others. But the one I want to attach to today is called Webhook. So, what I am going to do is take a look at our NuGet packages for the web project. We should have, we don't have a reference to, we do not have a reference to TwitchLib yet. So let me go ahead and manage packages for the entire solution. And TwitchLib should be in here. There it is. It is only on the infrastructure Twitch project right now. Okay, that's fine. And we're only a single version number off from the latest. That's kind of okay. I'm not going to update that today then. Here's what we're going to do. TwitchLib. Okay. Does this depend on all the others? So it depends on API, client, and PubSub, but it looks like... ooh, is that just a pre-release package? Do they have a package for it yet? Interesting, they don't have the webhook one available yet. I thought they would. Let's take a look. You're running into the weirdest bug you've ever seen in .NET Core with pinvoke. It can find the native library when you normally run the app. But when you... Oh, it can't find it when you're running normally, and in debug mode it does. Blub, there are actually a lot of things that can cause that kind of behavior. Let's see, web hook. Requires .NET Core 2.1. Yeah, that's what I'm running. Let's see. Do they not have a NuGet package for this one yet? I don't see a new spec anywhere. Yeah, I don't see it. Huh. It's a good question. Well, I wanted to get this one running, but we might not be able to do this just yet. Either way, I want to connect that. I will have to ask the TwitchLib guys. Yeah, we should ping them. Is the webhook. Alright, I just asked in the TwitchLib chat whether or not the webhook stuff... yeah, exactly. Where do we get webhook? Exactly. Alright. So here is what we're going to do for now then. I mentioned that we needed to do a different thing for our hangfire code. So we're going to do that. So, hangfire, going to jump back here. Delayed tasks, we want recurring tasks. So recurring jobs, we just do an add or update, blah blah blah, recurring job, add or update that. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to our automated action system. Add action. Instead of just adding it to a collection, this is instead going to be how these work. So automated message is actually going to just be one of these. So you'll create one, and then we'll maybe say go on it. So maybe the initial invoke, or something like that. So automated action system. Statement body. This is one of these types of tasks. So documentation on Hangfire. Recurring jobs on a specified schedule. So this could be any one of these types. Let's go ahead and... Ooh, this can't be in here. Automated action system, you no longer live here. Sorry, automated action system. You need to live down here for now. And we'll probably put this in a library sometime soon. As far as I know, follow the normal path of the working directory, directories and path, the usual. Oh, this means. So Blub, I'm not sure on your question. So WTF Blub is asking whether pinvoke is supposed to search the native library in the app directory or in the directory where the .NET lib is, which has the pinvoke code. And it's tough to say. And the real question is whether there's a difference depending on whether you're debugging or not. Okay, so we don't want is it time to run. We wanted the automated action system here. So instead of just adding on an action, oh, did I cut that? I didn't mean to cut that. I meant to copy that. Hang on. You put that back. Error should be gone now. So this is not the automated action system. This is the Hangfire automation system. Because this one is going to use Hangfire, and that's what makes this one different. So remember, the whole point of using these interfaces is that we can change out which one we're using. So I can decide at runtime that I want to use Hangfire. Now, we're not really going to be making that decision runtime. That's a cool side effect of it. That's not really the reason. But what we're going to do instead is this. We're going to say Hangfire does this for us. And then down here, when we add action, we need to add a special type of action. To statement body. Don't think Hangfire needs this. And it certainly does not need to keep track of the actual actions. So, here is what we get to do now. I kind of want to adjust how these work. But they have a fairly simple interface, and we might have to change it to the point where our previous interface for our automated action system doesn't work. Let me explain, because this might be a little bit confusing. For now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a switch, and I'm going to use pattern matching, because this is going to get us what we want. Oh, yeah, see, Blub? A .NET publish and a .NET run are not the same thing, so once you publish, you get different DLLs. So I'm using ReSharper here to automatically generate my pattern match case statement here, which is kind of cheating. But ReSharper is able to tell that I'm going off of a type that pretty much is going to need pattern matching, so it gives me this. A currency update is a recurring one. So I am going to take a look at the hangfire documentation and grab recurring for this. So we're going to do recurring job. And we don't really want to, like, the console write line's fine. We're not really doing that. So we're going to say currency update, wait, cron? Is there from time span? Oh, it can take in a... What can this take? Cron expression? Time zone info? And it can put it on a specified queue, huh? Yeah, see, the bot is running, sort of. Recurring tasks, here we go. I need a very specific time here, guys. Yeah, so that's sort of what I've got here, Sushinator. Let me show you. So I have... Well, this has is it time to run, which doesn't really get me what I want just yet. So... I'm going to make this public on the instance type. Okay, so on this, I'm going to have currency update dot interval in minutes. Let's try a time span from minutes. No, doesn't like that. Function string cron expression. What can be in there? What can be in there? Cron expressions. Wow. Thanks. Thanks, guys. I really want to remember this crap. Let's see. Do you upload property group plug a copy from the browser? Could I use the hangfire to consume supply? Yeah, I think that is exactly the kind of thing you'd want to use it for, Gather. Yeah, so Sushinator, I'm thinking, so it definitely I definitely want to use Hangfire's recurring jobs. I love the way this works. So Hangfire, how do you thing? There we go. If you want to run every X minute, use that. That's really annoying. That looks ridiculous. cron expression equals, and I will catch up with chat in a second, everyone. So they're saying that's how I do it? That's ugly. Okay. Was there a cron expression from timespan? Oh, if there was. No. Hang fire cron from time span. Yeah. Like, who writes .NET code and doesn't take a time span for this kind of thing? That's crazy. Since it's open source, I almost want to send them a pull request. And be like, you need to use this. So, background job.schedule takes a time span. What? Yeah, I know, Blub. That's the thing that's crazy. It doesn't make sense to me. Who would write code like that? Why would they want me doing this? It's nuts. That's the whole point of C#, is you don't have to write crazy stuff like that. Alright, delayed message, automated message is another recurring one. So automated message does the same kind of thing, so these should probably be some kind of fall through something or other, but we'll figure that out in a second. This is going to have... we're going to have public read-only message. Excuse me. I apologize for sneezing all over you. I didn't actually sneeze on all of you. Alright, automated message delay in minutes goes into cron expression. Oh, these are in the, you guys get to see the fun. These are in the same context here, so these variables can't have the same name. So currency interval. So that'll be that one, and this will be message interval. There we go. That's horrible. I want to gouge my eyes out now. Well, that's stupid, Sushinator. Yeah. Well, then maybe what we should do is this. There might be another way to do it then. What if... Yeah, exactly. Here's what I'm thinking then. Maybe we do it this way. So, recurring is what we were going to try to do. Maybe we set it up as a delayed action with a continuation to put the delayed action back in each time. If that makes sense. So, you're a delayed action. We'll see if this works. So maybe the cron schedule will work. I don't know. Yeah, we're all delayed actions here. Okay, so delayed action we should be able to do. don't think we actually need the variable for that. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Delayed action. I'm not gonna bother saving the result of that. Background jobs schedule. And this can take a time span. So we're gonna hop in here. Int delay in seconds. So we calculated next runtime based on that, but we don't need to because this will take a time span. So we can add a time span and call it delay time span. We're going to make it public, actually. And we will create it from this value here, which I guess we could have just done the other way and changed the creation. Time span from seconds. Delay in seconds. Let's see. Delayed jobs are executed only once. Yeah, exactly. So that's we're gonna have some of these. These actions are gonna be like our rock paper scissors warning message that that you only have, say, 30 seconds left to join, that kind of thing. Okay, so now this should be getting called over here. Delay time span, there we go. Okay. And yes, I know all they're doing right now is just calling their console method. That's fine. Next thing we need is the one-time callback action, which is the same thing as this. Delayed message and a callback method, exactly the same. No difference. Just need to go modify this one. So it also has a public time span. What did I call it? Delay time span. Don't worry, it's getting a rename. Time span from seconds, delay in seconds. And then the last thing is, oh, rock, paper, scissors, endgame. Why is this different? Why isn't this just a, why isn't this just a delay? This needs to get updated to just be the new piece. So this needs to die. Goodbye. Rock, paper, scissors, endgame. Where do you get used? You no longer exist. You are now a one-time callback action. Where it is. Okay, rock, paper, scissors, endgame equals a new one-time callback action with a seconds to join game delay, and the action to call is going to be this. Chat client. And what's the game? This dot play match, so we don't actually need this, we just say play match. Oh, arrow, fat arrow completed. There we go. Okay. So I got rid of that. We no longer need that other class. This can go away. Okay. Hey, Bubbles, welcome. Bubbles in the house. Man, that's like 2 days in a row. That deserves a Pepsi celebration. Also, welcome everybody. I drink Pepsi and I'm not sponsored. By Pepsi, at least. I am not sponsored by Pepsi. Clearly sponsored by, you know, everybody else. No, I'm not. I'm not sponsored by anybody else, actually. I'm sponsored by all of you. I am actually sponsored by my subscribers, like AridTag. Okay, so I don't think any of this. So I think those are all the ones we have. Currency updates, which really are just recurring actions. These are delayed messages, one-time callbacks, automated messages. I think we can simplify these a little further, but I think this is good for now. Okay, so let's make these actually run what they're supposed to run. So that dot invoke, this dot invoke, that dot invoke, and dot invoke. There we go. Cron.minute interval? There's a cron.minute interval. Ah, nice. Thank you. Much appreciated. Good find. Well done, team. All right. That is way better. That's what I call pair programming right there. Thank you, Blub. Turns contracts and fires every interval minutes. That is great. Let's put these all on their own line that same way. So we're going to put the time delay on their own line each time. And then I also realized something interesting about this. I am going to make action up here, which is just going to be action to ag dot invoke that. So this is going to be our action, and I'm actually going to call that for every one of these. So the cool thing is, because I can simplify each of those to an expression, I can call the exact same one in all of these, thus simplifying, and I don't need to multi-line anymore. So they all get called the same way because they have the same interface here, and then we just need to adjust how we call it in Hangfire based on which type it is. So that ought to make it just a hair better. I still don't like having the switch here. I want to change up the structure, but we've got some existing code, so it's harder to move it all at once, so we're going to do it step at a time. I am going to go ahead and commit this. Creating a hangfire automated system. Alright. Let's see what we get. Writing code, writing code. That output's coming in. Just gonna stop the site there just to make sure it can reload. Okay. Great. Website seems to run just fine, and just to check it, I'm gonna go ahead and start it again, and the bot should say hello in chat. There it is. Okay, cool. So, hi bot. Welcome. So it made it into the chat again, which means that it's not like horribly broken. But here's what I want to do. I want to change how we do that little interval thing. So in our bot admin page, what it does is it starts up, it calls the bot main run, and then that schedules our automated messaging. So that sets up those cron jobs we were just looking at. And then it starts this begin loop, which is an async task that we just get running. Now here's what I think confuses Hangfire a little bit, because we're running this one time. Now, we were kind of hoping that Hangfire would just keep this alive forever for us, but it doesn't look like it did. So, if we open up Hangfire, you'll see that there is a succeeded job from a minute ago, and that's this one. It started it, everything worked just fine, and great, cool, it ran. The problem is that when it ran, it didn't do what we actually, like, it didn't do everything we wanted it to do. We were hoping that this would be like an ongoing and running persistent job, but it isn't. I can start this up again, and it will probably spin up another background task waiting to send those messages until my bot's eventually spamming the chat. That's not what we want. So, we need to change how this works a little bit. So, what we're going to do is this. I want to add in each of these... I want to add in these requests that we've got here one at a time, each one of these automated actions. So instead of doing this, instead of even starting up this loop and running this way and checking to see, hey, do we keep going, I want to just get rid of this. I don't want to begin the loop anymore. I don't want to do that. Instead, what I want to do is I want to start it out here, these schedule automated messages. So in schedule automated messages, it's adding all these to the action system, which actually, now that I think about it, when it does this, what's it doing right now? If we use a Hangfire one instead of the standard one, it will put each one of these in as an action. So that would actually be perfect. It would be exactly what we wanted it to be. So we're going to do just that. So we're going to schedule our automated messages using that, and then there is no begin loop. So I am going to delete the begin loop. We don't need it anymore. Cool. No more loop. Alright, now the next thing we need to do is we need to change it so we're using the Hangfire one, so that we can actually get that automation. So, in order to do that, I need to go to the startup here in the web project. And I need to go to the iAutomated Action System. We want this to be a Hangfire automation system, which is our little wrapper around Hangfire that lets us use it the way we want to. A couple of things I want to mention about upcoming streams while we're chatting here and writing this code. I want to let you all know that I am intending to do a stream where we walk through all the code that is in our bot today and basically just go through explaining how everything works. So anybody who hasn't been here since the beginning can learn about the bot. So I will be scheduling that, and I will let people know when that's going to happen, when we're actually going to do it. So if you do want to catch us when we go through the bot, we're going to step through everything, talk about all the stuff that makes it tick, and if you want to be here for that, go ahead and hit the follow button so you get notified when we do it, and you will be able to see what makes this bot work. Okay, because we have a lot of code right now, does a lot of fancy things, plays games, keeps track of other various stuff, and we've been working on it for a while, slowly building it over time. I like suggesting to people that they build stuff a layer at a time, making changes as they're needed, as you need to go. When things get messy, that's when you want to actually try and take the time to clean them up. I don't recommend you just go on refactoring sprees. That doesn't usually go all that well. Much appreciated, Sushinator. Yes, greatly appreciate the subs. Do I have that muted? Maybe it'll announce it soon. But greatly appreciate it. I will gladly buy more Pepsi for the stream. Don't worry, I have plenty of Pepsi downstairs. I don't plan to run out. Okay, so now that this is running again, when I click that run button that we set up over here on that admin page, this is the button that starts up the project. It should say hello, I hope, cross your fingers. Although actually, now that I think about it, I don't know if this one does. Oh, yep, there it did. So it said hello in the chat. So it connected and said hello. Now I don't know if our automated messages are going to work because I've got the timing on those a little bit long right now. So let me shorten that so we can test it. So let me go to the interval messages, view data, drop down the interval to say a minute. Now I'm going to stop the project again. So we're going to stop the site, which should kill all those connections. And then I am going to start it up again. Cross your fingers. Let's see if this works. Yeah, it takes us. I don't know why IS Express is taking a second to come up here. Yeah, IS Express didn't actually start up there. I don't know why it takes like 2 loads today. Something weird going on. Okay, so now when I run this bot, first thing we should see is hello, the bot has arrived. And then in a minute, our bot should get annoying and be pestering us about having a great day and whatnot. It's going to be like the overly friendly bot. Okay, so we'll watch for that. If it works, that means that our cron jobs are set up right. Actually, that's a good point. I can take a look at Hangfire and see if we have anything in here. Ooh, retries. Uh-oh. Tried to do an invoke of something. An interval message. There it is. Okay, cool. So we might have an error. We'll get that solved and make it work. Unable to resolve type interval message while attempting to activate that. Ooh, it doesn't know how to get its interval messages. Trying to activate. Okay, so it tried to make an automated message. Let's take a look at our startup. Did we have this in here? Form job. While attempting to activate that. Wanted to make an automated message? Interval message. So this is a dependency in the automated message right here. This is what should have created them. Why would it need to get that again? Why is it trying to create an instance of automated message? What has a reference to this? That's just a test. Why did it try to... It's like it tried to resolve it somehow. We're not resolving this anywhere. What are you smoking? Unable to resolve service type for that while attempting to activate that one. Let's take a look at the bot main. We're gonna stop this. We're gonna stop the site because if we don't, it's just gonna get a little bit out of hand here. So we're gonna do that. So the site is stopped. Let's go ahead and open this up again. So we're gonna open this. We're gonna come over here into the Hangfire page. There we go. Scheduled. 3 jobs are scheduled. Oh, I just killed the site. Derp. Derp. Oh man, that was good. Alright, bot main run. I want to take a look at the scheduled automated pieces because they should be getting created. There shouldn't be any. They're not done with dependency inversion. So, bot admin. We're gonna start this. Run that. Okay, so we're in here. Schedule these. This should have our message in it, right? There's our message with an interval of 1 minute. So we get in here. So we create an automated message with that interval message in it. We get in here. It's an automated message. We schedule a recurring job using that automated message. It's exactly what we wanted. That's the only one. We exit out. We connect our chat clients. And we get the heck out of here. And then the bot says hi. Now if we go to Hangfire, there's a single recurring job with an interval of 1 minute, as we expect. This says it was created 7 minutes ago. Let me delete all of these. So we have no messages in there. I'm going to start this again. So this is going to schedule our messages. We know how that works. Now when I come over here, it didn't even schedule the job. Why didn't it schedule the job? Whoops. Get in here, I'm gonna put that breakpoint right there. Alright. Action to add is this one. I wonder if it's because it's got the same ID. That might be what it is. If it is, yeah, started that. There's a scheduled one. Message invoke. Okay, here it is. And it failed, I think. Invalid operation. Unable to resolve service for type that. Why is it trying to create that? The fact that it takes an expression looks like it interprets the expression tree and then tries to create the action via DI. Ooh. Blub, that could be right. If it's doing that, then that's in that case we would need to hang on to that object, I think, and we might be able to get away with it that way. Might be another way to write it then. What if we did this? What if we make it public void invoke action It wouldn't make sense though, because we need the value from it. I guess it could be. Yeah. Well, we'll assume we'll assume you're right about that. Let's go this way. So if you're right, an automated message does that, then interval message is the problem. And we need to not take in an interval message, which means changing the references to these to not use an interval message. What do we use from message? We use the delay and the text. So we're going to say string message and delay in minutes. Maybe interval in minutes? Interval in minutes. So we're going to have interval in minutes. So message and interval in minutes. Those are our values that we're going to take. Which means we need to pass these instead of the message to the lower constructor as well. Now interval in minutes, instead of storing message, this needs to be string. This is going to be underscore, private underscore message. Now we need to save this value. So we are going to introduce a field that's that. This is going to be the one that we're going to make public. We're going to change this into a property momentarily. Just give it a second. So now we have interval in minutes. So that's that value. It's used there as well. And that is the message. Okay, so now we need to go to where this is called. Inside of our bot main right here, we need to say message.messageText and message.delay in minutes. I'm going to pull that out to its own line. A little nicer that way. So that will add our action. We pulled those out to actually have their values like that. So now nothing, this is just string values. So if it was doing that, hopefully it can deal with those types on its own. If not, I'm not sure how this was expected to ever work anyway. But definitely nothing needs that type to create that object anymore. So now, instead of message, it's interval in minutes. Everything build. Cross your fingers. Whoop, files are locked. Hang on, let me restart the site. And actually, before I do that, let's go ahead and clear out all these jobs that are running. No more jobs. No more jobs. Alright, everything's cleared. Okay. Oh, wait, unit tests are broken. My bad. All the unit tests that reference that class are broken because I still have the compiler error. I think the site's still going to run, though. Hilariously. It's funny how that works. Okay, there we go. Start that, and let's take a look over here. Processing scheduled. So this is supposed to run in a few seconds. Yeah, activate an automated message and invoke. You're right. That does not seem to do what we wanted it to do. Yeah, it can't create the string. You're totally right. I didn't see that. That is absolutely how it works. So that means we're going to need to be creating these from somewhere. So we're going to need this type to exist. This object to exist somewhere. Why does it do it that way? It doesn't make sense. Hang fire. Stephanie LOL, welcome, hi. We are just tracking down an issue right now with our, we're trying to make Hangfire work. It does a bit of our, we're adding it in to do some of our background work for us. And I think Hangfire works in a weird way. Oh, right, it has to use an activator because it's coming from there. That's so weird. So the way they always do this is by calling this and having literal values on here. We could call static methods too and do the same approach that they're doing, but I don't like that. I don't feel like this is what we actually want here. This feels wrong. I have a feeling this feels wrong to most of you too. Passing arguments. Yeah, sure. Oh, okay, so let me take a look at what it put in the database when we did this. I didn't pass in any arguments. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, so it's not gonna know which chat client to do. This is so weird. Yeah, this is really annoying. This does not actually work the way we need it to. So it's going to put it in the database, but we really need the values in there. We need to know the actual type. So we need a lot more than what this is doing. I'm not sure Hangfire is going to be able to work for us as is. So here's the challenge. Let me explain, because this is a little weird. So the way that Hangfire is doing this is it's storing the types and the values of our objects, but the problem, and then it's trying to recreate them using dependency inversion at runtime. It's going to inject these dependencies, recreate these objects. That's why it's talking about activator. So for anyone that doesn't know, within C# you can do like activator.create instance and make a whatever type you want. So I could make a Hangfire automation system, for example, and this literally will make me one of these. So this is not like, hey, new up an object. And the reason it's not like that is because I could do this, type of this, which means that I can get as a parameter the type, right? So this clearly could have come in as a variable, and I can say new it up, whereas I can't say like new type, right? That's not a thing in C#. But like the activator object lets me sort of get away with that, so I can kind of like create an instance of an object this way. So that's what that was talking about. So Hangfire is trying to do that while we're running our code. So, and it's storing it in the database. Now the challenge is that we need it to come up with a couple of things. So let me show you what's inside of our invoke method, and this is the reason it gets complicated. Is in our invoke method, we need to call our chat clients. So this is the important part. Whatever chat clients were specified, we need to call them. Well, that means that when it creates this, it needs to give it an iList chat client. Now I could set it up so that our system made sure that the chat clients were always registered as types. How about giving an interval actions an ID? They actually have one. And the expression calls a get method on iAutomatedActionSystem. Yeah, we can probably get away with that. That's a good idea. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Interval action is now going to have an ID. ID. This is going to be get. So now none of these actually implement it correctly. So if we went this route, oh, you know what? I probably don't want to make it a GUID. I just realized I want it to be some kind of I want it to be like name or something like that. And the reason I want it to be like name is, yeah, exactly. I could say name equals new GUID if I didn't care, but sometimes I'm gonna care. So part of the reason for this is we can have a unique one and have it come back each time. So that's name. Name is going to be this one is actually just going to have currency update as its name. Because there should only be one of this ever running. So this one doesn't have any special way of getting the name. The other ones all actually do need a name. So this one needs a name that is given to it by something, I think. Initialize from constructor. So the intention here, Sushinator and Blub, is that we only want one of each of these running at a time. So in order to get that to work, we're going to need to make sure that when we add these into Hangfire, that it knows that there's only supposed to be one of these. And it should be able to do that. It's supposed to have like a way of keeping these operations like named. So we're going to use these names to do it. Okay, so now everywhere that these were created is going to blow up, and that's fine. Schedule automated actions. This is the heist game action. So this is last call to join heist. This one is start heist action. Whoops. Derp, 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 derp. There we go. Okay. This one, this is our quiz question hints. So this is quiz hint 1, quiz hint 2, yes, I know, Blub. There should not be this much. So one of the annoyances here, I could just have this. So this piece was actually already working, Blub. This actually worked even without it. This is trying to get a better automation piece in place than what we built ourselves. So, one-time action ending question. So this is quiz question end. Ah, this is the old thing. So the funny part here is we were creating an interval message, and now we don't need it because we did this. So delay in minutes, and then clock. Now it needs a name, and the name is fake message. And in this one, our delayed message action, create game join window. 30 seconds left to join the quiz game. Quiz game join warning. This one is quiz questions start. Quiz question start? Quiz question start. And then this is rock, paper, scissors, end game. Rock, paper, scissors, end game. And this is the warning. Rock, paper, scissors, warning. There we go. Okay. The last thing, this is delay in minutes and schedule the automated messages. These are message.id. ToString. So these ones have a GUID as their name because these came out of the database. So once we do that, everything has a name now. We're no longer calling that method. We don't need it. We should get rid of it. But I'll get rid of it later. So now inside of our hang fire automation system, which by the way, we don't need our constructor anymore either. You know what, I'm going to nuke this, so I don't have that method sitting around over there either. I'm going to leave this in place for now. We don't need the method, but I don't want to go fix all the places where we called it. Okay. Currency update, delayed message action, one-time callback. So in the automated message, there's a special thing about these. They're going to need to come out of the database, recreate, and do their thing. So, we've stored them in there by name. I want to make a method that says get automated invoke automated message. Public void invoke automated message. And it's going to be string ID. So now what I need to do is I need to have a constructor. The constructor needs to take in an I repository. No. Please pull that in. ReSharper, why did you change your settings on me? Yes, the messages won't be lost after a restart. So that is the interesting thing, is that this is actually going to keep the automation going, so the bot won't actually need to re-up these each time. Every time we start the bot, it's already going to have these in the automation system. So what we'll have to do is we'll call it's an update on it, is what it's going to do every time. So it's going to grab a single, and we're going to say policy interval message. What policy did we use for these? Did we have one? Interval message. We just did a list of all of them. I'm not sure we have a policy for these. So let's take a look. Specification. Do we have one? Chat user policy, streamer. Nope, we don't have one. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to create a derived type. We're going to copy this class to do it. Except this is going to be an interval message policy. Interval message policy. It is going to return interval message policies. And it is going to work by message ID. Actually, did our standard one have an by ID? We're going to put that on the standard one. I'm not doing this. It's a data item. It can be on here. Here's what we're going to do. Static data item policy of T. We're going to say by ID with ID. Return new data item policy of type T with x equals x dot ID equals ID. There's our standard one. Done. I don't need to use that one. I don't need that. Don't need to be in here. Don't need to be in here. So we're going to say data item policy of type interval message. We're going to say by ID, and we're going to say GUID.parse ID. And that should get us our message. So once we have the message, we are going to do this. Oh, we don't have the... Oh, we don't have the chat clients. That is a good point. We don't have the chat clients. I need to go to the bot main again and see where that was. When we were creating this before, we used to connect all the chat clients. We just had all the chat clients in here. All the chat clients. Where did this come from? I'm going to go to the startup method again. This just says it needs a chat client. I guess it figures out that it needs them all. We'll try it. Here's what we're going to do. In the Hangfire automation system, we're just going to put this as another parameter. We're going to say it's got all the chat clients. And we're going to hope it can keep them. And then what we're going to do is we are going to, down here, say new automated message. Message.messageText, message.delay in minutes. We're going to give it the set of chat clients it's going to use. And it's going to use that ID. to say automated message dot invoke, which I don't like recreating it like this, but I can't come up with another way of making that work. So that's for automated message. It's gonna do this. Huh. That is messy. That is really messy. I don't like that code. I really don't like that code. It runs, for whatever that means. So I'm going to stop the site again, just to be sure that we actually get this restarted correctly. Oh, and while this is going, I am going to mention that Thursday's stream, we're going to have another guest on the stream. I think some of you might know who he is. His name is Steve Smith. He goes by Ardalis on the internet. You might remember him from such things as having an IRL raid on his office by Saduki and me. The two of us appeared in the background of his webcam when he was a guest on C# Fritz's stream. Why are there 23 scheduled messages? Can I, like, super delete these things? I want to, like, super delete them. How am I getting messages in here? I thought I told it to get rid of these. Okay, there are no messages. No messages. Start. Okay, the bot's in here. Why didn't it schedule a message when I did that? Oh, a few seconds ago it said hello. Good job. Automated messages in here. Oh, wait. I think it sent a message. It sent one message. What is going on? Hang on. Because that's our hello and welcome. Is that the first time that's come through since we've been using this? Hey, Boo314. Welcome. Succeeded. Scheduled. Created. 738, right there. This one has an argument. Interesting. Oh man, yeah. See, it is so we are we're trying to change the automation in our project. So we wrote our own automation tools. They're simple, they're easy, they work, they're great. But we're trying to get it to use Hangfire, which is an open source project, I think. And we just got it sending out our messages. We don't like the way that we had to code it to make it work, but I am hopeful that there are changes we can make to how we're using it that will make this better. But this is definitely worth a commit since this does seem to work now. Change everything. Make Hangfire work. I don't like the way that we had to do that. Don't like it. Don't like it. When I review this code later, I am sure I'm gonna have some complaints. That got nasty. So we sort of had to trick Hangfire into working there. Either way, I'm gonna delete these. So we're gonna shut this down for now, and we're gonna work on something else for today, because I have spent enough time messing around with Hangfire for an afternoon. I'm looking forward to getting this TwitchLib hook stuff working. Hoping that we can make that work right. So, once that is working, we are going to switch to it. But for now, I want to switch us over to something that we can actually make some progress on. So, for now, I am going to switch this back to the master branch. Once I do that, I'm going to say yes to all things, and we are going to have our bot running again. So, this should work. Cross your fingers. You build the project, make sure everything gets cleaned out. So I'm going to clean the solution because I'm afraid of what it'll do if I don't. I'm going to set that as our startup project and get this running. So for anybody that is that does know, our bot currently runs as this console application. Works really well, has most of its configurations done through commands in the chat, which is actually pretty cool. We want to maintain it working like that, but we want to get the bot moved into the web project. So other things, since I've got it available now, the bot's running, so all the code that we do here on the stream is over on our GitHub at github.com/devchatter, and a lot of us chat over in Discord. Couple of other things I want to talk about. So we use user secrets, which is part of .NET. It's .NET framework kind of thing, Visual Studio integration piece. It's hard to say exactly what it is, but it is a way of keeping our secret information, like the keys I use to connect to Twitch, out of our project, so that I don't run the risk of accidentally committing my OAuth key into the system. Is that site still running? That site might still be running. No? I hope that was sent by... Oh! Oh, it's still set to a minute! It's the new bot that did it. It's that did it. Hang on. Because our data is still updated. Interval message, view data. Switch that back to the correct amount of time and restart the bot. Oh, Shark Deed. That is a fun conversation right there. Yes, so for those of you that don't know, I actually do a lot of talks at conferences about C#, the language. I do a lot of, what's new in C# type talks. I'll go to places and do those. And C# 8, default interfaces are being suggested for C# 8. The concept there is that sometimes you need to change your interface, you need to add something to it, and that causes a ripple effect. So you have an interface that, say, is implemented by, 6 classes, and you add in a new method. And the problem is, now you need to go to 6 other places and refactor. You need to add in this new method. So you're changing all kinds of files because you added this new thing. The point of the default method on an interface is so that you can add that to the interface without the ripple. So essentially you add the default, and then later on you're going to get rid of the default and replace it with implementations everywhere, but you don't want to do that right away. In theory, that's the idea of the default implementation of a method in an interface. In practice, some of us are worried. I'm also worried about it, even though I'm excited for the feature. Yeah. So, boo. It's not. So the concern that people have isn't that like that I would use it poorly. It's that I'm going to have to fix someone else's code that used it poorly. Although I'm not really that worried about it. But hey, I'm not every developer anyway. So either way, they're trying to be careful with how they implement it. They know there are some dangers there, because multiple inheritance is a bad thing. I think pretty much everybody agrees with that. It does not improve your language. So we'll see where it goes, though. Okay, so I'm hopping over into our other project for a little bit, just because I do want to talk to people about it, because it's a cool one. I am going to go ahead and run it right now. Looks like our SignalR bot is in here. Yes, Boo314. So here is our other project. We are building a thing that blows up because Brendan didn't start the other piece first. Hang on while I start both projects. Alright, let's try that again, but this time working. Okay, so hey! Spooky Coder! Thank you for the Twitch Prime subscription. Much appreciated. Glad you're enjoying the stream. So make sure you spam your DevChatter emotes in the chat, everyone. DevChatter for the new sub. Hype, hype, hype. Too spoopy for me. So, this project that we've got here, that I want to talk to you guys about, is essentially an opportunity for all of you to also code something of your own that's still related to what we're doing here on the channel. So these results up here are, this is all data that shows the, I guess, results of some rock, paper, scissors games that are getting played. So, and thank you for the follow, Boo314. Basically, I wrote some simple bots that can play rock, paper, scissors with a set of special rules. And in these games, we want to essentially allow people to submit their own entries and compete. So where the top bot will be listed on the top, and then others will be listed down below. So I want to get this set up somewhere and running. Right now we have a handful of bots that are working here. Cleverbot and SignalsRWise are actually the same bot. That's why they both do equally well. I believe they just tie against each other. The difference between them is that Cleverbot is actually just running in our system, and SignalRBot is actually the one that runs in here. So we communicate with it using SignalR, and you'll notice inside of its SignalR hub, all it's doing is creating a Cleverbot to make its decision for it. So I wasn't kidding when I said it really is just Cleverbot. So the idea here is that we want to set it up so that you could make your own site that just has SignalR set up to be able to respond to our game. So essentially making your own hub that we can talk to and say, hey, what move do you want to take given this action? And that's what we want to set up. So, the couple of things that I need to change about this, since we are going to work a little bit on this code, let me see what the state of this is. Oh, Signal Bot. That wasn't merged in yet. I should do that. Let's go take care of that. We're going to hop over onto GitHub. I definitely do not want to merge that code in yet, but this one I might. So we have a pull request here. Add a Signal Bot implementation, which this does. Pretty effectively, I might add. Cleverbot, add the hub, add Signal, use Signal, add a Signal bot to this, and this is commented out code that would have shown the results. We added the bot there, and then put that in there. Okay, sounds good. I just wanted to make sure that was good before I clicked the buttons. Make sure there was nothing weird in there. Always a good idea to check that stuff before you merge it in. Okay. This is exactly what I was about to do. Add a match ID. So, I want to do this. When we receive this, I want a match ID on this. Now the reason I want a match ID is because I need a way for the bots to tell if they're in a new match, so they don't get confused. That way we could call them and your bot could be getting information from more than one match at a time, so it just has to track data by match ID so that it knows which match that data is associated with. So it could be playing more than one game at a time. So now that we have that, let's go. Yeah, let's go here. Where did these get created? So round result, right here, we set these values. So previous decision result, it's from round results. But a round result should have a match ID then. So we're going to say GUID. And this is going to be the match ID, because a round is a part of a match. So we're going to say match ID equals match ID. Okay. And where did these get created? Match ID equals, this is part of the round runner. And does this run the 1,000 rounds? No, this creates an individual round result. So this is going to set it to match ID. Previous result. Round result is going to come from the previous round result each time. The first time this was called was in the match runner, and it used a previous round result that it created right here. So the first one was created at this point. So this needs a match ID that is the GUID.newGUID. So when we call a match, we're going to create a new GUID, and that's going to tie together all of these. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Actually, not tomorrow. Boo314, our next stream is actually going to be on Thursday. So 2 days from now. And it's going to start... It starts 2 hours earlier than our normal streams, so whatever time it is for you right now, 4 hours before now is when the stream will start. So you can do the math on that one. So we are 44 hours from our next stream. So see you there. Thanks for following, Boo. Have a good one. Okay, so grid.newGrid, the 1,000 rounds, it's going to run that, and it's going to have the round result on all of those, and then each time it creates a round, we will do match ID equals match ID. And then when we create round results, from one of these we do this, we say to previous that. So we set that value, and then we set the other values on the result. That looks great. Okay. I think it will now keep track of these values. So what I am going to do is this. I am going to fix up our other bots and make them a little bit smarter. Whoops. I didn't mean to click that button. That was a bad button to click. Let me go fix the damage. This is the problem with using tooling. Occasionally you click a button you don't mean to click. Get rid of that. Really? What's this do? Post async, read as async. What's this doing? I'm not sure what this code is doing. So, in the spirit of keeping things clean, goodbye. Bye, code. I don't remember you. I don't know what you did. I don't know why I need you. We'll get you later. It was one commit and a small amount of changes. Now maybe it'll take me forever to figure out what those changes were next time, but that's not the end of the world. Let's go take a look at our bots. So we're going to open up core, game, bots, clever bot. It's actually not all that clever. So Dynamite only attempts to use Dynamite every single time, like an idiot. So Random bot is also pretty stupid. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make Smart bot. Smart bot. So there's clever and then there's smart. Clever thinks he's clever. Smart bot is actually going to be smart. Smart bot bot. Smart bot. Okay. So here is what we're going to do. We're getting back our previous result each time, and we're just saying, get decision that beats this. So we're going to be somewhat smart. We're going to say, if decision that beats equals Dynamite, and we are out of Dynamite, then we need a new choice. Get new choice. So how do we determine if we're out of Dynamite? So we are out of Dynamite if 100 minus 1 equals 0, but we're going to replace 1 with Dynamite's used. So this is going to be a method now. We are out of Dynamite, the method. So we're going to return hang on, I want to get that back. There we go. know how to code sometimes. Return, we are out of dynamite. So that's 100 minus used dynamite. 100 minus the used dynamite equals 0. We are out of dynamite. So actually, we're going to return this instead of the variable. Now, how do we get the amount of used dynamite? That is the question. But we need a private dictionary of GUID, int for now. This is going to get more complicated, but for now we're going to start it here. We're going to say used dynamite. So, Stephanie LOL, we are building a, so right now we are building so this one's not a chat bot. This is a bot that's going to play rock, paper, scissors a little bit smarter than our other ones. So essentially, this is a website that lets you play a special game of rock, paper, scissors that I will very briefly explain the rules to. So we're going to go here, we're going to click here, we're going to open up rock, paper, scissors, boom. Essentially, in order to make this a challenging and fun game, the rock, paper, scissors game is non-standard. So instead of doing rock, paper, and scissors, we have also included dynamite and water balloon. So that off-balances things. So it's no longer a simple random game where it's, you know, one beats the other. So, yeah, exactly. So the dynamite here beats rock, paper, and scissors and loses to water balloon, with the thought being the water balloon puts out the fuse. So the water balloon, however, loses to both rock, paper, and scissors. So it is the worst of the choices. The dynamite is the best, obviously, because it beats the most other things. So the problem is, obviously, then you're incentivized to throw dynamite as much as possible, and it sort of becomes then a guessing game of dynamite versus water balloon, which wouldn't be fun. So, in order to limit that, each bot is only able to throw 100 sticks of dynamite. In each matchup against another bot, you're going to play 1,000 rounds of rock, paper, scissors. So after those 1,000 rounds, there is a winner determined, and the winner is the one that won the most. Obviously, there could be a tie, because there's an even number there. And obviously, even if we didn't choose an even number, because of the fact that a tie is possible in rock, paper, scissors, it wouldn't matter, so 1,000's a nice, round, easy number to play. And right now, I am building in the intelligence in this bot for it to understand that it should stop throwing dynamite once it's no longer allowed to. So I want to make sure that this one's smart enough to say, hey, I'm out of dynamite, I should probably not throw another one. So what I'm going to do is say, we're out of dynamite if I need to know what round this was called for. So previous result match ID. So we're going to pass in the match ID. Match ID. Try get value. So here's what I'm going to do, try get value, and then we're going to say match ID out int used dynamite. And since this returns a boolean, I can actually do this. We're going to put it in an if. So if we get the value, then return this. So use it to actually calculate. If we didn't get a value, return. Actually, that should be less than or equal to, just in case. Less than or equal to 0. Now we want to. So if we didn't find it in there, we're going to say false. So there we go. We're not out of dynamite if we didn't even have an entry in the database. If there is an entry in the database, we're going to use it like so. That'll now be the decision. So if the decision's dynamite and we're out of dynamite, get a new choice. Down here, before we return the decision, we need to say underscore used dynamite for previous result.match ID. If this, will this return? Good key. I'm gonna do this here too. We're gonna safely access this. So previous dot match ID. So this means that we found it. We're going to say underscore use dynamite I need to put this in a method. If decision equals dynamite log dynamite usage for the match ID. Alright. Come on. My tools are going slowly, I don't know why. Match ID, there we go. So, use dynamite. We're going to attempt to grab it from the database. If we successfully get it from the database, then we want to do this. Or not from the database, from the dictionary. Then we want to say use dynamite for match ID. Equals that. Plus 1. Else use the dynamite for match ID equals use the dynamite equals 1. So it's either in there or it's the first one. Hawkbird Gaming. A couple of things. We were working on our bot, our chat bot. We're moving it into the web project. And we've now switched over to our rock, paper, scissors, boom game. So, our web project, we made a good amount of progress, got our automated action system running a little bit better using Hangfire. There was some confusing stuff. We had to do a couple of things in a weird way just because of the way Hangfire worked. But other than that, went pretty well there. We fixed up our dependencies in our web project for the bot as well. And yes, I know it's confusing that we've got bots in 2 of our projects. These ones are rock, paper, scissors competitors, we'll say. That is read-only. Okay, so if we did this, we need new choice. And I want a convenient way of getting a random base bot. Congratulations, you are now going to offer a random method for everyone to use. So, decision Get random choice. Actually, I'm gonna make get random basic for now. Where is Rando Carician? Rando Carician. Here we go. So I'm gonna do this. Rando Carician, do me a favor. Yep. Come on in here. Let's see. Dynamite, you're gone. Water balloon, you're gone. That's not how we're going to initialize our random. We're going to give everybody access to the random up here. And in fact, everybody needs to get the same randoms. Eesh. I'm actually going to need to handle random better. This needs to be static. Needs to get seated better than this. Because of how frequently we're going to call this, there's definitely a problem with this. Alright, I'm just going to make a note to do that for now. Okay, so next choice, random, next, decisions, next choice. There we go. Okay, so that should do get random basic. So now when I hop back to SmartBot, I can say decision dot wait, do I ever choose dynamite? Maybe I don't ever choose dynamite. Does it never throw dynamite? It never chooses dynamite. That is hilarious. Get random basic off of the base. And it's going to do that. Assign it equal to decision. There we go. In fact, now at this water balloon one, I want to tell it to get a random basic there too. So if the opponent was choosing water balloon, we should get a random basic choice. Oh, you know what? I know what I want to do instead. Hang on. I have an idea. In our base bot, I have a better helper method. So we said get random basic, but I don't want that. Get random from set. I want you to pass in the set. Decisions, decisions, decisions. So this is going to be a field that we're going to move out here that everybody's going to have access to. We're going to make this a protected we're going to call these the basics. List of decision. I'm going to call it all basics. SmartBot is now going to call this with all basics as the choice, as the set it's going to use. And we're going to say get, no, not decision that beats, what did I call it? Get random from set, there we go. That's going to be get random from set, all basics. So the other collection that I want to have is all. And that needs dynamite, water balloon. So Rando Carissian can now just call this code. 0 decisions count. Okay, so here's the reason that I did that, is I can now make this bot a little bit smarter in that I can make it do this. Instead of saying paper, I can say I want to do all basic, I want to do a new, and actually, let me adjust this. This is now an I list. Oh, SmartBot, what are you doing? Where was I? Here we go. So, paper, 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 dynamite. And then this one is going to be scissors. So if we think you're going to do that, we're going to either throw scissors or dynamite. And then this one is rock, 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 rock. And yes, I know there's a nicer way to write this. Okay, and if we couldn't pick this, then turn back random from all. And that ought to work. Whew. I think. Alright, let's give this a shot. Oh, did I? Nope. Hang on. Our bot's not competing. We need to make our bot compete. SmartBot is now in the game. What? Really? SmartBot's not perfect. It makes some mistakes. That's fine. We're gonna work on SmartBot. It's not done. And I clicked a thing I didn't mean to click. Look, it's Visual Studio. Get out of here. Close. Don't want you bugging me. Adding match ID and SmartBot. New branch. Henrik. Smartbot. There we go. And publish. Okay. So I am going to call the stream here. We've been going for about 2 hours and 15 minutes, but before you go, I do want to talk to you for just a second. I want to make sure that I let everybody know about a handful of things that you may or may not know about, and I have posted them in chat there. The first one is, if you want to talk with any of us outside of the stream, head over to our Discord and you can chat with us over there. The next thing I want to mention is that all the code that we do here on stream is out on GitHub, so if you want to take a look at any of the code that we do here, head on over to github.com/devchatter and you'll be able to see all the code that we do. We push all of it up there while we're streaming, and you can find it all there. The next thing I mentioned is that we stream 4 times a week, so if you want to check out our schedule, I just posted it again in chat. We stream on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So our next stream will be in about 44 hours from now. That'll be Thursday at noon Eastern time in the United States. So that is, say, about 4 o'clock UTC, 4 in the afternoon UTC. So if you're in Central Europe, that's about 6 p.m. your time. And if you are in the West Coast, then that is morning around, if you're West Coast United States, I should say, then that is about, say, 9 a.m. your time. So we hope you join us on Thursday. We're going to have Steve Smith, who goes by the name Ardalis on the internet, as a guest. He's going to be up there in the corner. And he and I are going to do some programming together. For anyone who doesn't know, Steve is, a good friend of mine. And additionally, he is a Microsoft MVP, regional director, and plenty of our other regulars have actually talked with him, heard him talking on a lot of different podcasts and other things. He's a regular in a number of places. We're going to get him on the stream. Been meaning to for a while. And let's see, other things going on. We reached our follower goal, so we will be doing some... So I have started planning for our first special event stream. So if you are one of our regulars, or if you're new, or if you're already following us, thank you for that. We greatly appreciate it. We are at... our goal was 1,024 followers, because of course it was, because binary is a great numbering system. I should say great base for your numbering system. And as a result, I'm going to schedule that event. I'm going to try to get a number of guests, and we're going to do something fun. I've got a couple of ideas that I'm trying to work out which one we're going to do. And I will be giving you details, so it's not going to be secret the whole time. But I am going to keep that quiet for now. And hopefully all of you are as excited for that as I am, because I think that is going to be a really fun stream that we've got. And other than that one, I guess I want to thank Spooky Coder for the Twitch Prime subscription, and anybody else who wants access to our fun little DevChatter emote. I say DevChatter because that's what you type in to send it, but it's our DevChatter hype emote. If you want to be able to use that anywhere on Twitch, feel free to subscribe. And if you're an Amazon Prime member and you attach that to your Twitch Prime account, you actually get a free sub every month. So you can subscribe to us at no cost to yourself. And other than that, I will see you all on Thursday. So have a great one, and happy coding. Bye, everyone.